Hello, everybody, and welcome into halftime here at Rochester Adams High School with a halftime score of 10-3. And yes, that does mean the Rochester Falcons have broken their 3-year scoreless streak against the Highlanders, making this one a much closer game than we anticipated here. My name is Giovanni Moceri, joined with Gabe Loper, Taryn Fritching, and Rochester's student. Rochester student Harper Meesh, who's been on the sideline with us covering the game from all angles. And Harper, I do want to start with you. The energy of this student section here, a student section that you know personally, has been up and in arms and excited for tonight's game.
Oh, totally. It is so exciting that this was our first time scoring in 3 years. Like, it is, and it's amazing. And I know that our student section is going to go above and beyond with the energy tonight. And I know that this energy is not going to be going anywhere. I know we're going to be holding it through the entire game, and we are just so pumped and so excited for this game.
And that field goal will bring the recap of the first half here to lead to that field goal that broke that streak there. It started off for the Rochester Adams Highlanders with a big drive. Got down the field early with a lot of yardage from number 5, Matt Topner, who's had a lot of action on both sides of the field in this game. But the offense slowed down as soon as they entered the red zone, with it settling for a field goal to get the first lead, 3-0 in the first quarter. But the Rochester defense as well, multiple stops near the red zone, and Rochester Adams was just not able to punch it in until later in the first quarter, where Rochester would find the end zone. Once again, Topner rushing into the touchdown on an outside run. And then from there, it was kind of gridlocked in that second quarter. Teams were strong foot, columns of granite on both sides in terms of the defense. But that field goal was set up by a Rochester Adams penalty as they were able to march down the field, but got even closer from head coach Tony Petrito of the Highlanders. And unsportsmanlike conduct brought them to the 9-yard line, setting up the field goal to give us that 10-3 score that we have here at halftime. And for given the rankings of these two teams coming into today, this is a lot closer than we thought it would be.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like it's a duel. It's a duel. A rivalry game. It's a duel. We saw, like, we mentioned earlier pregame, with just the emotions that, are flaring up. And as a coach, that's like the last thing that you want. But like I said, we got a duel on our hands. Special teams. We got blunders on both sides. Both teams have put the ball on the ground. We had, the biggest reason that we saw that Rochester Adams score came after a punt, that high snap. Punter had trouble handling it, got tackled, turnover on downs, and he gave Adams the ball in prime field position. So, and then both offenses moving the ball well, especially with the power run game. Rochester started moving the ball really well towards the end of the half, mostly with that power run game, but a lot of it was damage limitation, especially with the special teams blunders. You can run 6 or 7 plays, but at the end of the day, you're only getting to your own 40 or 45-yard line. So, like I said, we have a duel on our hands. It's a great game. Defense are playing really well, but I guarantee none of these offensive coordinators are particularly happy with their teams.
And Taryn, your view of the game at the first half, it's still, like we were saying, really close. A lot of things to clean up here. What do you see?
Well, I don't know if you want. I don't know if you wanted to mention this, but I'm going to mention it right now. So, when we were talking in the pregame, we were talking very highly about Ryland Waters. However, I would say sometime maybe mid-second quarter, actually, quarterback Nolan Ferris went in, and Ryland Waters was sitting on the sideline being treated for we don't know what, and we're not going to speculate anything. So I think that's also what's been just a huge difference maker in this game, because obviously Tony Petrito is going to be preparing for this game as if Ryland Waters is out on the field. However, as he's not, you kind of got to take a step back and you got to be like, what are we going to do next, especially when you're going into this halftime with your crosstown rival and it's a 10-3. You just let up that lead that you had. I'd say a lead, obviously you had the lead, but then you also just let up the fact that they hadn't scored in 2 years on you. So you kind of got to take a step back and just be like, what are we going to do? How can we improve? And I think that's given Rochester an edge, regardless of the score. That's given Rochester an edge over Adams.
No doubt about it, but don't forget, in that state semifinals run last year for Adams, it was Francis at the quarterback spot for much of the season, all the way towards the end of the season, as Waters was out at an injury in his junior year and missed much of that season. So don't sleep on Ferris at the quarterback spot, but definitely all the teams are really excited to see Waters back in this game. We'll see if he does continue to come back in this second half here. But I want to bring it to some of the action on the sideline, not only with the action in the students section, but the Rochester Adams Highlanders have themselves a celebrity on all fours of the field.
Yes!
Tell us about Lily.
Oh my gosh, Lily is a cute little golden retriever on the Highland side. She is so cute. She is the retriever of
when they do kickoffs, she gets
The kicking team.
the kicking
team,
thing.
yes.
Yeah.
and we have become very good friends with her. We
Yes, we
absolutely
have.
love her.
She
We
tried
do-
to eat our mics. but
Yes,
that's
she
okay.
tried to eat the mics out there treats, but we have made a very new friend, and I've never seen a dog do this position at a football game. Baseball game, yeah, like a
The retriever of the bag.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly. But football, I love the incorporation, and I would love to see more.
Yes.
Lily was a total sweetheart. We had a pleasure meeting her and the owner. This is her second game working for the Highlanders here, trained by the same professionals that trained JJ, the field general at Jimmy John's Field for those
Yeah,
local to the
really?
Utica area. Oh,
That's
yeah.
I did not know
Oh,
this.
yeah.
Oh my
That's
gosh,
so
I
cool.
love JJ.
So she's been a great spectacle here, as well as the great spectacle that we've had here. The marching band for Rochester, as well as Rochester Adams, they've been blaring the horns throughout much of the game here. And I want to turn it to the table here. We got another second half to go here. Once again, close game, 10-3 is your halftime score here. What can we expect to see from both sides in this second half? Do things get cleaned up? Does the offense let loose? What do we see? Harper, we'll start with you.
I think that the defense will clean up, and I think we'll get better on that. And I also think that the Adams team's defense will also go harder because our offense, of course, as you saw, we scored. So I think that the Adams defense will definitely get harder, and I think they'll focus more on that than their offense.
Taryn?
I mean, hey, obviously none of our picks are even remotely correct.
Scores are very hard to predict.
Very hard to predict. I will say, though, I do believe that with the halftime and with that break and Adams just kind of cooling down, I will say that I do still have them winning. Obviously, I don't think it's going to be as much of a blowout as I said. I believe I said that. I said 35-7. I think it's going to be closer, though. I think I'm going to predict a nice little 13-10 action.
Ooh.
Adams over Rochester.
I agree with that one.
I'm expecting, honestly, much of the same. I do expect a little bit more scoring here in the second half as offensive. They've settled. One of the biggest things I remember as a high school football player myself, especially being on the offensive side of the ball, is that you take whatever happened in the first half, you talk about it, you go to the drawing board, what happened, what didn't happen, and because of that, now you can kind of see things kind of flow into a little bit of a rhythm, more of a rhythm. I'm expecting Rochester to run the ball the same way that they did towards the end of the half, with efficiency being hard. Give me 20-10, Adams.
And I got Adams winning in this one, a low-scoring event. And we will kick it over to the booth with Chris Renwick and our student broadcasters. Second half coming up.